Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Neek Lynn, and this is the place where braiders turn to learn braided hairstyles, develop tenacious hustle, and flourish in hope. In my last video, we went over tips for braiding 4C hair, and we received a request from our girl Crazy Saturdays requesting a step-by-step tutorial. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's jump right into it. Anytime you are doing straight back braids, I highly suggest you starting in the middle. Don't be afraid to stand in front of your client to truly make sure that you're in the middle of their head. Once you establish that, then you can go in back of your client to make sure that everything lines up. And when you're working on your middle part, you can literally line it up right at the middle of their neck. So you want to use the front of them to start it off, and you want to end up in the back using the middle of the neck as a guide. Now I'm going to part her hair from ear to ear. So essentially I'm just parting it in half. Once I part the hair in half, I should have 4 equal sections. Since she's getting 6 braids, all I have to do now is create 3 sections on each side. So I'm going to start here in the top left corner of her hair, and I'm going to part out 3 vertical lines. Once I part out the first section, I like to go ahead and just do a very loose braid. The reason why I do this is because I am just getting the hair out of the way, and it's allowing me to still have a clean canvas that I can see everything that I'm doing. So for anybody who might just be catching the video and they're not sure what we're doing, please understand that this is not the final braid. This is just a rough draft. Okay, and now I'm just going to repeat the same steps that we just did, just 2 more times. So now that the front is set up with your draft braids, it is time to line up the back. And in order to do that, all you have to do is take the end of the part that is in the front section and then direct that part down to the nape. Now I know that some people are going to watch this and feel that this is an unnecessary step, but for some of us, or for some of those who are just learning, or just want to take the guesswork out of getting symmetrical braids, this is a tried and proven method. For anyone who has watched my channel for a long time, you know that I am a fan of pre-parting. So even though I could still accomplish this style without doing these steps, it just gives me a peace of mind that once I get to the nape, I'm not going to be running out of hair, or my braids are not going to look crooked because I started off on the side and then, I miscalculated somewhere. So I just like to take this extra time. It doesn't take that much time to do this, if 30 minutes. But I just like to take that time so that I could have everything set up, and then when I'm ready to commit to the actual style, all of my parting is no longer even a thought. All I have to do is begin my braids. This also allows for me to adjust anything, fix anything. There's nothing worse than getting to the end of your style and feeling like, oh my goodness, I wish I could have done this over, or I wish I would have moved this here, or I wish I would have moved that there. So again, another benefit of this step is just to be able to see exactly where your braids are going to fall and clean up anything that you want to clean up. Now, the other thing I wanted to let you know, and I got this tip from the Braiders Only Network on Instagram. When I used to pre-part, I used to use a lot of product during my pre-part. And listening to her videos and listening to her Instagram suggestions and things like that, one of the things they spoke about was not using product during your pre-part, because in a sense, you're actually wasting your product. So now for my pre-parts, I just part it out with no product, and then when it's time for me to start my braids, then I use my product. So I found that really helpful, and I hope that you guys will find that helpful too. Just like in my last tutorial, I will be using the Neat Braid Conditioning Shine-In Gel. This gel works great on 4C textures. To clean up my part, I'm gonna use my gray barber comb. I've gotten questions in the past about what's my favorite parting comb, and I have to say that it is definitely this one. But you do have to be careful because it can be a little bit sharp. As I continue to part, I really would like to know, what are your thoughts so far? Do you feel like this is an effective method? Is this something that you're willing to try? Do you feel like it's unnecessary? Let me know in the comments. So last but not least, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about stitch braiding. So when I go ahead to start my stitch braid, I do separate that piece out in the front there, and then I'm going to braid a few times. I like to braid anywhere between 3 and 4 times before I begin to pull in my sections. You can see that I'm just going to use my pinky finger and pull in a section and braid, and then I'm going to alternate side by side, essentially doing the same thing. So one thing that is important is the amount of hair that you add. You do not need to add oversized pieces in order for your stitch braids to form. You can add very thin pieces that will help you keep your amount of control as you work your way down the braid. Another quick tip when you're doing your stitch braids is to just make sure that you use your product on both sides before you start the braid, and then you could always use your product as well as you are continuing to braid. So guys, I really hope that you found this tutorial helpful. I hope that I answered the question by showing a little bit more of a step-by-step and getting into some of those deeper details of the parting. Remember that braiding is something that is truly experimental, and you can do things and try different ways and try different methods to see what actually works for you. And then you take what you learn and then you make it your own. So guys, again, I hope this video was helpful to you. If you are looking for more tips and tutorials for all things Hair Hustle Hope, you can join me in the Hair Hustle Hope Collective Facebook group, and you can also follow me on my Instagram where I drop content almost daily. So guys, again, enjoy. I will let you just finish watching the rest of this video. Please leave any questions, comments, requests, or anything like that in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next video. As always, God bless.